Hello Legionnaires, this is Max Liao from Legion of Myth, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Wizard Discipline in the 4th edition Earthdawn role-playing game. If you have not watched my earlier videos, please be sure to watch them, especially the one titled Earthdawn Disciplines and Adepts and Overview, as it explains the nuances of what it means to be an adept who follows a discipline in the Earthdawn role-playing game. I'll post a link to that video in the description below. If you enjoy this Earthdawn content, or if you desire other anime, comics, and gaming-related news and reviews, please be sure to subscribe to this Legion of Myth channel and ring that bell icon to turn on notifications so you do not miss an episode. As always, I will be discussing the Wizard Discipline primarily in terms of 4th edition Earthdawn, as it is the most recent version of the game and thus the most appropriate version to discuss. We shall now commence this symposium with a treatise regarding the Wizard Discipline vis-a-vis the perspicacity of prosaic name-givers, as enumerated from Thysteros, the elucidations of metaphor and meaning. To become a wizard, a student must awaken his sleeping intellect until it is afire with the stunning possibilities of thought, the limitless vistas of the imagination. A wizard's mental acuity makes him a fit purveyor of advice on every topic imaginable, and wizards will ensure you are reminded of that fact. In order to master the discipline of wizardry, the adept must develop a superior intellect and acute powers of analysis. A wizard must never stop learning, must never tire in his quest to unearth the buried knowledge of the past. For it is the wizard's task to understand all things in the world, to fit them into categories and rank them in a system of correspondences. From these correspondences flow not only the magical powers on which the wizard draws, but his complete vision of the universe by which to comprehend people, creatures, and objects of all sorts. All things in this world are connected to an idea. Everything you can think of has a model in the realm of ideas. Every word, every action, everything that can be observed have higher meaning. Symbols have power because they are connected to the realm of ideas. A wizard gains power by learning to manipulate these symbols. From the simple to the dramatic, symbols and ideas govern every aspect of a wizard's life. A wizard must be able to look at a complex matter and divine from its core elements. Once the wizard learns that any situation can be reduced to the connection between symbols and ideas, he can look beyond the surface confusion to detect the order beneath. The mind is the most important gift given to the name-givers by passions, and wizards use this gift to its fullest. A wizard must be a thinker, for with his mind, he remakes the world. To solve a problem, first, a wizard consults all of his texts at hand. All of them. Then he seeks correspondences, symbols that relate to the idea, and antithopes, the opposite of those correspondence symbols. Finally, he uses his power of deduction to arrive at the correct conclusion and takes appropriate action. Here we go again. Yeah. The architect of the personification of the hitherto generalized conception shall foreknow these forthcoming indicators. You know, this is why people want to punch wizards in their smarty pants faces. What should you expect if you choose the wizard as your character's discipline? To me, the wizard is about research, knowledge, and being smarter than everyone else. If it's in a book or related to magic, the wizard probably knows it and certainly knew it before you did. Right out of the gate, the wizard gets research and dispel magic. Research allows the wizards to find obscure information in dusty tomes and forgotten libraries, while dispel magic at first circle sets the tone for the wizard's understanding of magic. At second circle, the wizard gets astral sight just behind the nethermancer. Where the nethermancer tries to invest in astral real estate, the wizard is keen to study the symbols and mysteries of the astral realm through pictures on Astropedia. At third circle, the wizard can fight against dispelling and disruption through the tenacious weave talent. My spell shall pass! A wizard's mind is a fortified wall full of knowledge. As such, Steel Thought is a very fitting fourth circle talent. At 5th Circle, to promote the idea of wizards and books, the book mage ability grants a bonus when attempting to reattune on the fly if the wizard is using his personal grimoire. Also of note at 5th Circle, the wizard can spend a point of karma to change the range of a spell from self to touch. Finally, the wizard gains the astral interference talent to hinder the spellcasting of others. The rest of the journeyman talents include Will Force, Hold Thread, and Suppress Curse, which nullifies curses and negative magical effects. At 9th Circle, the wizard gains the Matrix Split ability, where the adept can store an additional spell in one of his matrices. The adept also learns the Eidetic Memory talent, which provides a bonus to recalling knowledge. At 10th Circle, the wizard learns the first of his signature glyph talents with Glyph of Unweaving. This talent improves Dispel Magic and resistance tests. Glyph of Shielding, earned at 11th Circle, increases the wizard's mystic defense, while Concise Casting allows the adept to cast an additional 0-thread spell at Circle 12. At 13th Circle, the wizard creates and stands in a Mystic Triangle, which provides him a +5 bonus to spellcasting and thread-weaving tests. The Glyph of Attunement talent allows the wizard to attempt to reattune on the fly as a simple action, while at 14th Circle, the Glyph of Reversal talent can redirect a targeted spell away from the wizard. Finally, at 15th Circle, the Spliced Weave talent allows the wizard to weave multiple threads in one round. The difference between Spliced Weave and the normal ability to weave extra threads is that when using Spliced Weave, the wizard rolls individually for each thread using the base target number, not one single roll with a modifier based on the number of threads being woven. Look, at 15th Circle, unless you're having a really bad day, you're not going to fail those easier rolls. Wizard spells cover the gamut from combat, utility, investigatory, buffs and debuffs, and so forth. It is a well-rounded discipline in terms of its spellcasting capabilities. Other opinions may differ, but for me, I don't feel there are many signature spells for the wizard. To me, this is a good thing. This means they all have use, and you really can't go wrong with any spell selection, unless it simply does not fit your campaign setting. With that said, Wizard Mark is a disturbing spell, and how close it is to Horror Mark. Makes you wonder if Nethermancers or Wizards are the creepy ones. And the Sever talent is the bane of Adepts everywhere. Sever talent, yes. Of course, any longtime Earthdawn player will recognize Razor Orb, which not only does damage, but savages the physical armor of an opponent. If enchanting is your thing, the wizard can craft common magic items, craft true patterns, and incorporate glyphs starting at Circle 5, and design enchanting patterns at Circle 8. In Earthdawn, half magic represents discipline, pertinent knowledge and skills a character knows or can perform simply by being an adept of that discipline. The wizard adept can use half magic to recognize different types of magic use, identify specific uses of wizardry, and for knowledge of magic rituals. Let's look at other types of wizards in the variations on a theme segment. And I'm doing this segment before discipline violations this time because these variations actually affect what constitutes a discipline violation depending on the variation of wizard. Up to this point, this entire video has been via the perspective of the Mind Wizard, which is the prototypical Earthdawn wizard. But there are two other variations we need to address. The first is known as the Instinctual or Hedge Wizard, and the second is the Mastery Wizard. As we have shown, Mind Wizards are wordy, pompous, and prone to quoting the most inscrutable occult classics. Mind Wizards prefer the written word and are rarely without a few tomes in their pack. Hedge Wizards learn from the oral traditions passed down by known masters. They still rely on ideas and symbols, but instead of dusty, forgotten tomes, they pull from their own experiences. Through introspection, they decide what each idea and symbol means personally. Hedge Wizards tend to be less arrogant than Mind or certainly Mastery Wizards, and can be quick to dismiss the benefits of book learning over personal experience. Mastery Wizards are closer to Mind Wizards, however, they believe they can dominate the world of ideas and symbols. With the right knowledge, they can control any situation. Mastery Wizards often slide down the slippery slope from simple pride to pure megalomania. They're often best portrayed by GM NPCs rather than heroic player characters. Oh, here we go again. To constitute an intellect accomplished of such erudite superiority, the wizard has compulsory structural coda as a desideratum. Or, if you remember from my overview video, disciplines are not character classes, professions, or archetypes. They are lifestyles. And while the personal vision of each adept may differ, there are some foundations that must remain. A mind wizard violates a discipline if he does something blatantly stupid. These wizards believe so strongly in their own intellectual powers that they go into shock when they suffer an outrageous failure when performing a mental task. Attacks on their dignity may trigger a talent crisis. Personally, I don't tend to use this one much, unless, as the Adepts way further states, the attack causes an intense, prolonged emotional response. Mind wizards see themselves as above such mental lapses. A hedge wizard may suffer a talent crisis in any unfamiliar situation which she cannot relate to personal experience. Depending on how rural or anti-city the hedge wizard is, I'm going to get that right, she may suffer a talent crisis when out of sync with her rural roots. To be honest, I really don't like that last one. I think a violation more closely tied to one's personal vision and in consideration to the importance of intelligence would be better. Lastly, the Master Wizard suffers a talent crisis when her carefully crafted plan goes awry, or she lands in a situation she cannot control. I was going to make an example wizard at this point, but it went a little sideways. Instead, I'm just going to mention the talents I would take when making the type of wizard who knows and has access to everything. You'll notice that I never make a pure spellcaster in these videos, and the same will hold true when I create the Elementalist. A pure spellcaster with all the matrices and relevant talents is what I typically see in the games I'm in. I want to make something more interesting, at least for me. For the novice circles, I chose the following talent options: book memory, creature analysis, item history, and read-write language. Moving on to the journeyman circles, I selected evidence analysis, life sight, resist taunt. Hey, he was picked on his entire life. He's used to it by now. And true sight. Though I could be persuaded to change out life sight for mystic pursuit. At the warden circles, astral pocket, matrix sight, safe thought, and thought link were my choices. And astral domain, casting pattern, and memory probe were my master circle selections. As noted earlier, not the best selections for pure spellcasting power, but if you need information or the ability to mess with astral space, you can't go wrong with this build. In regard to spells, divine aura, speed reading, baseline subtraction, and nearly all of the third circle spells create the base of my wizard's grimoire. Of course, round it out with combat and utility spells as desired. What about multidisciplining with the wizard? Wizards can find it hard to multidiscipline. First, they're naturally stubborn and find it hard to lower themselves to another discipline's methodology. This same stubbornness also causes their second problem, finding someone with the patience to instruct them. Despite these inherent difficulties, wizards are most often drawn to the other spellcasting disciplines. Of the non-magician disciplines, wizards fit in well with the archer, troubadour, and weaponsmith. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on the wizard discipline? I am going to keep it simple today. I love the higher circle glyph talents, both in theme and in use. The book mage, matrix split, and mystic triangle abilities give the wizard that extra oomph to show off his educational and magical prowess. Sure, the wizard can seem like it's just a generic all-around caster, jack of all trades and master of none, but the wizard is not that simple or mundane. You have a lot of potential power in your hands if you have the appropriately superior intellect to utilize it. Knowledge, research, and understanding of magic and astral space are the domain of the wizard. If you like magic, for magic's sake, this is the discipline for you. Please let me know what you think of this episode, the wizard discipline, and the Earthdawn setting as a whole. If you have a discipline you really want me to cover sooner rather than later, please let me know so I can move it to the top of my list. Until then, you can count on the Cavalryman to be next. Please subscribe to the Legion Myth channel and ring that bell icon so you can be notified when new videos are uploaded. Finally, I want to let you know about the Legion Myth weekly livestream every Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on twitch.tv/Legion of Myth. See the description below for the link. Our hosts Garthon and Heathen Dog provide anime reviews, tabletop gaming fundamentals, comic book reviews, and other nerd topics to interest you. And monthly giveaways. Once a month, they give away Steam games, Amazon gift cards, and we're even starting to give away hardcover and PDF version of tabletop RPGs. You don't want to miss that. If you can't catch them live, you can always watch past episodes on this Legion of Myth YouTube channel. And with that, I will see you next time, and I hope you have a wonderful day.